what really impressed me about all your books is that you're building on so many research. So it's not, so usually people think about this as a writer as if he just writes. No, I think probably 80% of your time you have to dig into like.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad that you appreciate that. I mean, that's so, what you have is you have scientists out all over the world who are doing this incredible research, and they're writing for a very narrow and small audience typically. And
Yeah.
they're also looking at only a small slice of the world. And so when you start reading across different disciplines and start putting it together, you realize that what they're saying is actually profound. And at some level, not entirely, but at some level, part of what I do is operate as a translator. So you
Yeah.
have basically translating from the laboratory to people who are parents or teachers or accountants or middle managers to try to explain, here's what the research says. And as a consequence, here are some things that you might be able to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I think for any individual or 普通人, like regular people, really reading books is the best investment. Because first of all, as Daniel said, that those are like billions of dollars putting those research, right? And
Yeah, exactly.
NIH funded research, and then like people have spent their lifetime or career doing those research and making into papers. But then those papers, although they're actually free, like cause I did my PhD in molecular biology, I know lots of them are free. You can go to a certain website and get them.
Yeah.
But people don't read them. They need a curator, right? Like it's not like because it's free, I will just know instantly what your NIH funded, multi-million project is telling me. So that's the first step. And you need a second step, which is what people like Daniel is doing. They're excellent researcher in their own right. They look into the outcome of this research. And they're at the same time a great narrator or curator. Like they curate all those research results and then they draw implications. What does it mean? What does it mean for our regular person or common people, like in terms of how we understand our world, how we manage our life, and how do we change behavior? And then all those are then condensed into one book. So the book, I think even in China, it's much cheaper, and the China market books are cheaper than the US. Even the US is probably like $25 and you can get a book. And in China, it's like, even like maybe one fourth of that, you can get a book. So this is really, that's usually how I look at those works. I was like, well, I'm just getting a real bargain.
It's a great explanation. I mean, it's one of the best explanations I've seen about why people should read books like this.
Thank you. That's really how I felt. I was like, wow, no, I'm just spending like 30 RMB on this like multi-billion
Yeah,
NIH
exactly.
research outcome. And as I said, this is probably the highest ROI for your investment.